So I actually just turned 21. You can go look at my birth certificate if you want. So full disclaimer, I am of age. Hey Maddsters! Welcome back to Work Hard, Play Hard. And this Play Hard is about the Frats. I'm going to be completely transparent. College is college and people party in college. So I just want to tell you guys how to do it safely and in a smart way so you guys don't run into any large issues. I want this to be like very informational and just like help you guys navigate it so that you are not making bad decisions and that you feel prepared before you go into these situations. Because I think parties are something in college that people don't often talk about, which I understand why, but I think it is something that needs to be addressed for literal safety reasons. Also, I do not condone underage drinking on this channel. However, it's college, so like it's silly to think that it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? But I do want you guys to be safe if you do choose to go to a frat. Going off of that, and I think it's the most important part, is the safety. So I'm just kind of gonna run through some safety measures that you should be taking before you go to a frat. Number one is to stay hydrated and eat a lot of food before you go out, because as we know, like alcohol is better digested if you have food and water in your system before you go out. I would say that college is not very peer pressury from my personal experience. If you choose not to drink, you really don't have to. No one really cares that much. So it's totally up to you. But if you do choose to do that, make sure that you are, you ate dinner and you are drinking lots of water. Safety number two is to make sure that you go with a friend.
I'm Mara.
And I'm Madeline.
So these two are in a sorority. Can you tell us what your experience with Welcome Week has been so far?
I would say that some of it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially when you're like starting school, you don't really know where to go, what to do. It's important to like always be with your friends and be with people that you feel like really know you and can support you, and they will bring you home if you get into trouble.
I agree with everything she just said. I'm really fortunate. I live in a house with some of my sorority sisters, so I've definitely like had them as my support system, and I love going out with them. And we just like go to people that we know that they're like our friends and that they're safe and we have a good time. So
Always make sure you're going out with someone that will make sure you're safe.
Yes.
yeah, we love our house.
Have fun,
Yeah.
but be safe.
Yes. There we go. Stay in the blue.
Stay in the blue.
Be with a friend, have their location, and just make sure that you know where each other are at all times, just because it's at night, like crazy things that happen at night. So just be very careful, be very cognizant of who you're going out with, and just like stay aware. Know what's going on, pace yourself. No one wants to be the kid who's going to the hospital. It does like kind of ruin a party. It makes everyone very stressed out. So just make sure you're very tolerant about like what you can and can't do, and don't jump in too hard just because that causes a lot of issues and you really want to have fun. Also, the University of Michigan has this program called Stay in the Blue, which is how you can have all of the fun and none of the drama. So basically it's a campaign to help students keep their blood alcohol content under 0.08, 0.06, just to keep it low and just make sure that you're staying safe and responsible while going out. So now we got kind of all the safety stuff out of the way. I do want to educate you guys. So we can talk about some frat lingo. Number one is throw. So if you're like, oh, is this frat throwing tonight? It means they're throwing a party. So like, oh no, they're not throwing. The other word is dead. That's when it's very bad and no one's there. So you're like, oh, is this frat throwing tonight? No, it's dead. Like, don't go there. It's very bad. No one's there. It's very awkward. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. And so I was in Greek life, as some of you guys know. So I feel like I do know how a frat party works, because that's Greek life. So I'm just gonna kind of run you guys through the timeline and the ins and outs of what a frat should have by fraternity sorority life standard. A frat will throw a mixer with the sorority before the party actually starts. The frat invites the sorority over just so that there's people at this party, because if you show up at a party and there's no one there, then it's dead and everyone leaves. So the frat purposely invites a sorority over so that there's girls there, there's people there. Once it becomes open and into an open house, people will want to stay at the party. So the timeline is mixers start usually around 9 or 9:30, end around 10, 10:30. And after that, from 10:30, they all have to end at 2 around. It's open to everyone. So if you're not in Greek life, you should probably go out around or after 10:30. I would say after 10:30 is pretty solid, 11 is pretty good. Also with this, there are supposed to be doormen who you swipe your M card which people are like, oh, they're like tracking me. But it's really just kind of more for like safety measures and just making sure that people who are at these parties like go to Michigan. So that's kind of one nuance. However, if you do bring a friend, like normally they'll be like, oh, hey, my friend's visiting from out of state, like can she come in? Normally it's okay. Then you go into the party.
I don't wanna fall in love. Make it long! I don't wanna fall in love.
Hi, Maddsters! We are with some frat brothers from SIU. What are your names?
My name's Zach.
Quinn.
My name's Ben.
Okay, and we're going to talk about what it's like being in a frat. So, Quinn, why'd you join SIU?
I joined SIU because the boys are my best friends, and they're guys I can look up to and guys I can also party with.
There we go. Okay, and then can you talk about any tips when rushing a frat?
When you're rushing a frat, go as many places as possible. Rush and welcome week in general is just a great time, and it's a time to make new friends, possibly join a frat, but even if you don't, when you rush, you're going to meet a ton of people that you'll be able to hang out with after rushing.
And one more point. Just be yourself. Like, don't try and appease anyone. Just be yourself. There's a place for everybody. So just do that.
Yes, and then how do we party safely at frats?
Don't drink too much. Make good decisions.
And the frat brothers here are all very trained to be sober monitors and can help you out.
Bye, Maddsters.
So we are currently on Hill Street, which is the street that goes straight down to like all the frats, I guess. It's right after Greenwood, so everyone's thinking Greenwood, like getting down to the frats. I would say stay with a friend, stay very hydrated. It's really hot too, so like, you know, be prepared for that. And it's a lot going on right now, but it's a good time. So we are right now outside of SIU, and it's currently welcome week, so there's a line. Normally there's not this big of a line, but they have to like close it just for capacity reasons, which is like fine, but it gets a little dicey because then people have to start leaving and like getting off the lawns. Can you get us in? Can we come in? Wait, yeah. Okay, this is how you cut a line. You know a brother. What's it like being the doorman?
It's great. You know, like you can stand out here and let people in. It's a good time. It's a great time. I get some fresh air.
Why'd you rush?
I rushed because I wanted to be with a group of very close friends, and I got that. I'm very happy. Are you guys
Thanks. So you going now?
You guys rushing? Yes. Go on in.
But that's kind of like how it works. And then otherwise, at every single party, there has to be designated sober monitors. So this is usually, I would say, around 4 girls in the sorority, 4 guys in the frats that are mixing together. And these 8 to 10 people are supposed to be sober, and fraternity sorority life goes around and checks to make sure that these people are sober. That's kind of nice just because you have some extra support in case you're with a friend who's not doing well. And then also Michigan fraternity rules is that each frat has to have water and like some kind of food, so it's normally granola bars at every party. And so I'm a big fan of this. Okay, I drink a lot of water, eat a lot of those granola bars. I really like that aspect of it just because I feel like they are encouraging you to stay hydrated and like have some food. And then they do have drinks available. It's beer, wine, seltzer. The people at the bar are sober and they should know how to pour like a standard drink. It's all like very much regulated as to try to prevent as, you know, many bad things as they can. Next up is dress code. So you guys are probably like, what do I wear to a frat party? And really, you can actually legit wear anything. At least the girls normally like crop top shorts, crop top pants. It doesn't have to be a crop top. I literally wore this when I went. You can wear whatever you want. No one really like cares or remembers or judges you really. And it also gets very, very hot, so you'll be sweating. Some people put on makeup, but it's always very embarrassing, the girls who put on makeup and it's just like coming off of their face because it's so hot. Always bring a hair tie so you can tie your hair back because it's just like disgustingly hot in there. And actually for one class I did like a social experiment where I broke a gender norm and I wore like sweatpants to a frat and just like walked around and was like asked people like what they thought of my outfit. Most people like didn't even care. So you can actually wear anything, but make sure that you do have a pair of frat shoes. And so these are shoes that you don't mind getting dirty. Mine are downstairs because they're literally brown right now. And then also buy a fracket, or don't even buy a fracket, just use a really old sweatshirt, jacket, because that is very helpful in the wintertime when you're walking around outside because it's kind of cold in Michigan. And then for the guys, you can pretty much get away with anything, like shorts, Michigan shirt, you can do the jersey. So guys have it a lot easier, but girls, you can also kind of wear whatever you want. So dress code isn't that terrible. Sometimes there are themes, especially during welcome week, neon, blackout, whiteout, so stuff like that that you can dress up for, but it's also not that big of a deal if you don't dress up for. And then finally, let's talk about the ratio. I had no idea this is a thing. If you're a guy who is not a pledge, you may have some trouble getting into a party, which makes sense because a fraternity is all boys and so they want like girls at the party, or else it's like just not a great party. In the beginning of the year, usually around September into a little bit of October when rush is going on, a guy will be able to get into a frat party. However, if you're in a big group of guys, you probably won't. So that's when it comes in the ratio, where you should have like 5 girls to 1 guy or whatever. So if you're a guy and you want to go out, try to tag along with a group of girls and then tell them that you're rushing too, because they like that, I guess. But after rush is over, then it does get more difficult for a guy to get into a frat. So just heads up about that. I can't really help you out in that. It's just like how it works. And if you're not into rushing a frat, then there are many other ways that you can still have a social life through various clubs or just like with your friends. So I wouldn't say that the frats are end all be all. I think it's definitely an interesting experience to have. Well, you guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was informational. I really hope that if you guys go out, you guys do it safely, are very aware of your surroundings, enjoying your night while being responsible. And if you do get into any situation, Michigan has the medical amnesty. So say I'm underage, my friend is also underage, she's not doing well, I can call for help. I can call 911 and be like, hi, could I please use Michigan medical amnesty for myself and my friend so that she can still receive the help that she needs. So that is definitely something really great that I know people who have had to use that. So they're just really trying to like watch out and make sure that people who need help get the help. Also, DPSS is usually helpful if you run into any kind of situation like that. There's also SAPAC, which is the Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Center. So unfortunately, if any sexual assault does happen, please call them, please reach out and ask for help because there are lots of resources on campus. But hopefully none of you will have to do that, but it is something that is there for a reason. So I hope this video was informational, helpful, and that you guys just make good choices while going out. Partying is a large part of college, so I just want you guys to do it very safely. But let me know if you guys have any other questions, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, Maddsters!